Hi, my name is Brianna Munoz, and today I'll be talking about Chapter 12, going into detail about the foot and door technique. To start off, the foot and door technique is a persuasion technique that is described in the Module 12. The foot and door is the act of starting off small or slow that escalates into a larger request if the individual accepts the initial request. So for me, I believe that this technique is commonly used in the workplace, especially in my workplace. I've worked in retail for many years, and throughout my career in the past years, I could see how it's been used. And before this online class, I didn't really know that I was using the foot and door technique, or none of my coworkers as well. So when we went over this chapter, this module, and I learned more about the technique, I discovered that not only myself but my coworkers have used it from time to time. So the foot and door technique works best in a positive, friendly workplace. For instance, we constantly ask favors from each other on a daily basis. They're usually small, like favors that I don't mind doing, like if I'm not going out of my way when I'm on to doing something. Usually, like whenever one of us goes on break, we ask around to see or somebody's always asked, hey, while you're out there, do you mind getting me this and this? Typically little things like that, or individually like helping each other finish the workload before somebody leaves for the day if it's not going out of their way. I can honestly say I've been using this technique for my day-to-day work life without even knowing it. Like I said before, like I didn't realize that I was guilty of using it. Once we started discussing it in our module 12 is when it like hit me, like, hey, like I've been like guilty of using this for my coworkers, and luckily it hasn't gotten to the part so far where they've asked like ginormous favors out of me because of it, or because they get annoyed. When I first started working with the company that I worked with now, I noticed that one coworker who would constantly ask favors from the new hires, and at first we thought like it was like we're all in one to win kind of effort. So at first, of course, we were recently new to the company. We didn't know that she was taking advantage of us and just things like that. We eventually caught on that she was taking advantage of us. Since we were new to the team, we didn't think twice about helping out until it became a daily thing, constantly for more than a few flavors, like every time I went in. Looking back, I noticed that she was using the foot and door technique. It got to the point when I realized that one day she asked me to do something for her, and I said, sure, I don't mind as long as you do this for me in return. And she right away made up an excuse like, oh, I leave pretty soon, so I won't be able to help you out with that. And then I replied like, oh, okay, well then I can't help you out with that because I have a set schedule I need to keep, and I need to make my goal for the day. Going into detail, I work in a high volume store. When I first got hired on as a seasonal employee, some of the full-timers would take advantage of us and constantly get us to do their work. Like I said before, since we were freshly new to the company, we didn't know that they were taking advantage of us. We eventually had to say no because it got in a way of doing the work that we were assigned to do. And I learned that some of the employees were just being lazy, getting us to do her work for her. Up until today, people still use the foot and door technique without overuse. I say it has to be a give and take, and that's what's great about working with the team that I have right now. We don't mind giving a helping hand as long as we all give a favor back in return, I guess. Like, as long as it's gonna help us achieve our main goal for the day, and as long as it doesn't become like an everyday kind of like more than a few times a day kind of thing, you know, where we kind of say like, hey, like it's getting out of hand, like you do your work and I do my work. In conclusion, the foot and door technique is so widely used, people don't know that it even is a technique. Like for instance, I didn't know that it was a technique myself, and I've been guilty of using it for like the past couple years. Everybody should be cautious when using it because people do take notice, and no one likes to be taken advantage of. As I moved up with this company, eventually to a manager position where I am today, I learned to be mindful when using this technique because I know how it feels to be asked for constant favors without getting anything in return. Thank you.